Uncensored.
And now, streaming live from the sunny Southern California coast, this is Options Uncensored.
Hey everybody, I'm Steve. Welcome to Options Uncensored. We're making real option trades in real time together. Let's get right into it. First things first, make sure you have your brokerage account open so you can follow along. Have your YouTube video quality set as high as possible. That way you can read the numbers a whole lot easier. Have a calculator on hand so we can do some easy math. If you have a question or a stock you want to go over together, real time together live, leave it in the comment section below. And finally, remember, this is not financial advice. This is all for entertainment purposes only. All right, let's check our open positions. Our short call spread on USO got filled this morning because of some U.S. airstrikes in Yemen. We'll go over that in a minute. Shopify trying to get to 27. This one got filled yesterday, I believe, right? 11th. Yep, so this one got filled yesterday. Shopify's down $13. We've got some time, don't worry. JP Morgan had earnings this morning. We'll go over that one in a second. XLV trying to get to 14. Right now, marks at 24. We're fine there. XBI trying to roll. Trying to roll for 0 credits. So if this gets filled within the next week, great. If not, we'll talk about taking the loss there. XHP trying to get to 25. Right now, 56. No worries there. SPY, we're going to start trying to roll this one as well. And IWM right on the borderline there. So let's give it a second. USO, this one was very straightforward. Let's look at the chart. So I think either the 8th or the 9th, one of these days, earlier this week, we sold a put. This was not a put spread. We just sold the 59 put right out here. And we received a credit of either, $69 or $70. We closed this morning for $35. So there's no math to do on that one. The downside is 5,900. So it's silly to take do the math on that one. But we had upward move in the past 3 days. We had some issues with the Houthis taking over some oil tankers in the Middle East, and then the U.S. response last night. So there you go. In and out in 3 or 4 days, made $35. Great. JP Morgan, let's take a look at JP Morgan up first. This is a post-earnings move. So we sold a call spread on JP Morgan yesterday, the day before earnings. Not a very usual trade I like to make. I don't prefer opening positions before earnings, but since this one, look at it. Since October, it's moved in a straight vertical line up without any selling at all. So selling the call side makes sense here. We sold the 180 and bought the 185. It did gap up this morning, and it was up at around 3% or so, and it's already selling off. So this position, even though it's up $1.36 right now, still green for the day because that earnings volatility has been sucked out. So all that premium's gone, and IV rank is very low. Okay, so we've collected the premium essentially from earnings. Now he's got to wait for it either move sideways or move back down. I'm not worried about JP Morgan on that one. Okay. Let's look at some other earnings movers today. UNH is up first, down 3.5%. Rallied back a little bit, but selling off. Could look at the put side here. Should catch a bounce between 503 and 505. Okay. For February. Yeah, we'll still stick with February for opening new positions on the put side. If you sold the 490, you're not going to get paid for it, though. Maybe out in March. If you sold the 480. Not a lot of volume here. Plus, it's a very big stock, so it's hard to get better liquidity on these kind of trades. Let's move on. Let's look at the rest of the banks. Wells Fargo will do first. Down 2.5. Post-earnings move. Here's our chart. So like JP Morgan had a big run up, Sold off a bit, and now here we are, post earnings down 2.5%. I don't know, it could. We do have some support from back here where it's caught a bounce this morning and bounced slightly. The next spot for support is until, say, down here at 43. So if you want to sell the put side, you probably get support at the 43 from this support back here, plus the upward movement of the 200-day. I can see a floor around 43.5, maybe even 44. You'd have to sell the 45 for February expiration, and that's closer than I'm comfortable with. And on March, you'd have to sell 42.5. It's just not worth it. And skip the call side, obviously, on these, okay? We'll move on from Wells Fargo. Next, let's look at Bank of America, BAC. Okay. Down, pretty much the same story as Wells Fargo. I don't think there'll be any moves to make here either. Skip the call side. Put side, meh. You'd have to sell the 30. You're not going to get paid for it. Same thing. This could catch a bounce around anywhere from 31.5 down to 31. And then next stop is 30. And then you have great support back here at 29.40 and the 200-day. All places it could catch a bounce. I'm not sure I want to go on this one quite yet. So let's skip Bank of America. And then the biggest losers of them all, Citibank. I know they're up, but I mean just losers in general. Cutting 10% of their workforce, good. So here's your chart, up slightly, not a big move post earnings. Selling on the put side, 48. On the call side, selling. Skip the call side for February. For March, I don't know, you could sell. A lot of volume here for March, right to this one, the 57.5. If you sold 57.5 and bought 62.5, what do you get there? 43 minus 11 divided by 2 divided by 500, 3.2. Skip this one. What else we got? BLK. BlackRock. Flat after earnings. This one's probably going to be a no-go. What we're looking for post earnings, if we want to open up a trade post earnings, we need a big move. We need a bigger than expected move. So when it's pretty much flat, you've just lost the volatility premium and there's no move to make. We'll skip this one right away. BK, Bank of New York Mellon. This one's up 4%. It's catching resistance from way back in December of 2021, January 2022. And same thing like the rest of them. This has a big move up since the bottom in October. Hardly any selling off. And another gap up here. The call side on this one is interesting. Just not enough liquidity here. Too illiquid. We've got 10-cent spread here for February. For March, you'd have to sell the 60. It's not worth it. Close, but no cigar on this one. Moving on. Let's look at CVS next. Down 3.5% today. I'm not sure what the news was. Earnings are in the 7th, so we're slightly less than a month away. Selling off here in the past 5 days. Maybe it's time to start looking at some puts. Could catch a bounce here at around 75.5. Let's look at the put side for CVS. Earnings are in the 7th, so it's involved And this price here, the 70 for February. For March, if you sold the 70 as well. Where's 70 on the chart? 70 is way down here. I don't know if I want to hold this one through earnings. We'll have to wait till after earnings on CVS, and then we'll do something there, okay? Next, let's look at some of the airlines. American First, down 8% today. Well, we'll go through a couple of them and see what makes the most sense, if any. Earnings are the 25th. So American, we're too close, unfortunately. You'd have to skip February. March, you sell the 11, get $17. A lot of open interest for March. And look at the open interest. So on the put side for March, you've got 29, 63, 60. A lot of open interest on the put side. On the call side, though, you've only got 19, 2, 15. So a lot of open interest on the put side. That's interesting. Same thing with the February expiration. A ton of open interest here on February and hardly anything on the call side. So a lot of buying and selling on the put side drives these prices up higher. 17 cents on the 11, 18 cents here on the 16. So yeah, you get paid more to sell the put side. Unfortunately, it's a $13 stock. It's not really worth the squeeze. Let's look at Delta, DAL, down 8% as well. Earnings are coming up on the 12th. Wait, that's today before the open. Okay. Delta at this point is the most, the best of the worst, I guess you could say. This looks fun. So it's hitting the 200-day right now, but it's already hit that one, so I don't know if it means anything at this point. Next bounce will be around 37-ish. So the put side could be interesting here. You got to figure out what was priced into the options market for this earnings move. For example, the JP Morgan price movement was 3.5% priced in. I'm not sure it was priced in here for Delta. Put side, February, sell the 35. March, sell the 34. $34 is down here. Would make more sense to sell February. $35 on the chart. It's right here. A little close. It's had a lot of movement in the past, I don't know, 7 months. A big move up, big move down. Movement up again. This thing needs to chill out a bit. I saw the put side here. Just straight up puts, no coverage. For February, I'm going to sell the 35, just one. Sell one February 35 put. I'll go for the ask of 33 limit. Receive $33. Go ahead and preview this one really quick. So just so you know, you need to have this cash secured, $3,500 cash secured, or have level 3 or 4 option trading approved on your brokerage account, okay? Receive a credit of $33. I'm going to go ahead and send this one out. Sell one, put 33 open, February, credit $33. Go ahead, send it out. That'll hang out here. If this gets filled, $16, buy to close. Okay, we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, moving on. Any other airlines? LUV. Down not as much. Their earnings are on the 25th, so let's stay away from them. Next up, let's look at Qualcomm. I think that'll do it for the earnings. Qualcomm's in the news today. They got upgrade, maybe? Citigroup upgrades Qualcomm to buy, price target to 160. Okay. Earnings are on the 31st, though, so we're too close. We have to wait till after earnings are done. Had the upgrade, gap to open up, selling off. Moving on, Regeneron. Okay. Not a lot of IV here, so that's concerning. Earnings are February 2nd. About 3 weeks out till then. RBC upgrades Regeneron. 1,076 price target. That seems fair. Too close to earnings. We'll move on from this one. Snowflake. Down today. Downgraded at Barclays. That's interesting. Earnings on the 28th, so we got over a month. That's good. And it'll be past February expiration. Downgrade, really? Okay. Well, gap down open is already rallying back. So February is before earnings. March earnings are more volatile. Put side for February. If you sold the 170, you get 169. That makes sense. Sell 170, buy 165. What's the spread there? 169 minus 113 divided by 2 divided by 500, 5.5% roughly. Is there a dividend on this one? No. This is a silly downgrade. March includes earnings, though. Good liquidity here. 7-cent spread here, despite the low volume. Interesting. I'll put a note on this one. Maybe we'll come back. Next up, Twilio. TWLO. Up 3.5%. I'm guessing an upgrade. Earnings are February 14th, so just about a month away. Piper Sandler upgrades Twilio. Overweight. Price target of 82. That seems fair as well. I don't know about the upgrade, though. Wonko chart. Well, you've got resistance at 78.5, 79. The next stop for resistance is 88. So if we want to sell the call side here, for February, call side, 85 is a little close. You go out to 90. Sell 90, buy 95. You're probably not going to get paid for it, though. 114 minus 70 divided by 2 divided by 500. 4.4% there. I don't want to go to March yet. You get paid less in March. Put side for February. Oh, this one's interesting. 62.5 pays you 96. Where's 62.5 on the chart? 62.5's right here. That includes earnings, though, right? 14th, yeah. Delta got filled. Let's go ahead and set the buy to close order here. Let's click close. 16 was it? Buy 1 February 35 put to close, limit debit of 16. We'll set the duration as good till canceled, so it'll be open every day till it gets filled or we have to roll. We'll go ahead and preview that. Buy 1 February put, 16, limit, good till canceled to close, 16. There we go. We'll send that out. It'll hang out here till it gets filled or we have to roll. Cool. Next, Palo, PANW. Up big 5 days in a row here. When you pull out, this move looks really overextended. Earnings of the 21st. I don't know if there's any news today about it. Chart we already looked at. Let's look at the call side here too. So earnings are after February expiration. Call side for February. If you sold the 360, bought the 370. 385 minus 244 divided by 2 divided by 1,000, that's 7% return. If you sold the $1,000 spread, selling 360, buying 370. Liquidity's okay. You've got a 20-cent spread here, and you've got an 11-cent spread here. This could be tricky to roll as if things move against you, though. 360 on the chart. 360 is up here. Considering February expirations in 30-some days, that makes sense. I'll make a note of this one. Okay. Netflix is next. In the news today, Oppenheimer raises Netflix price target to 600. 600? Is that right? 600's way up here. Okay. That's a little aggressive. Is that right? Raises price target to 600. Well, that's a little aggressive. Ambitious. I like that. Earnings on the 23rd. So we'll hold on that one. Just because it's too close to earnings, I'd rather not open anything that's close to earnings. 600, that's 105. That's a 21% move. Okay. Well, let's move on. Next, let's follow up with NVIDIA. NVIDIA down today. Actually, it's come rallying back, though. Earnings are the 21st, so more than a month out. That's good. Hanging out here at all-time highs. We've looked at this one for the past couple days. Once things break into all-time highs, you start thinking about selling the call spread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days up. Call side. Earnings are after February expiration. So if we sell February, you don't have to worry about earnings. Call side, you'd have to go out to the 605. Sell 605 and buy 610. At 625 minus 485 divided by 2 divided by 500. Hold on one more time. 625 minus 550 divided by 2 divided by 500, 7.5%. There you go. That makes sense. I don't know. 605 on the chart. 605 is up here. Tempting. Let's hold on this one. Let's look at Unity next, trying to wait for it to get to 33. It's getting closer. 33.74. We're close on this one. We may get there today. If not, we'll have to wait till next week, Tuesday. Earnings for this one are the 26th, so after February expiration. Put side, if you sold the 28, and bought 25, 28, 25. Hold on one second. The 28 is down here. This seems fair. If you sold at 28 and bought 25, it's 31 minus 13. Divided by 2, divided by 300. 3% only on that one. IV's okay. It's not great. I think we'll hold off one more day on this one, okay? All right, that's it for that list. Let's go to our IV rank scanner. We'll sort by volume. We're going to head into the heart of earnings season over the next couple of weeks, so we'll keep that in mind. Tesla's on the 24th. We'll hold. IWM, let's take a look. It's gone up a bit. It was in the 40s, I think, yesterday. Flat today. Here's our chart. Gapped open is selling off. We have our short 197 and long the 200, so we're right on the fence here on this one. Waiting. I wouldn't open a new position today. It's hard to say. This price action right here means there's no clear direction, so I'd hold on this one. I wouldn't open anything new. Okay, moving on. Marathon down 10% today. This is all Bitcoin selling off. I'm sure Coinbase is down too. Yeah. These things are going to come down hard. Let's go back to Marathon and look at the put side. Don't think we're there yet. If you sold 12. Sell 12 by 10. 23 minus 9. Divided by 2. Divided by 200. 3.5%. No bueno. Go back to, well, got good liquidity here. What if we went out to March? If you sold the 11. Sold 11 or 10. No, sell 11 by 6. No liquidity down here. You'd have to go out to 10. So sell 11 by 10. It's not really worth it. 5% there. Let's go back to Coinbase. Their earnings are the 20th. This has got room to fall. The next spot for support will be at 114.50, and we're not near that yet. So you can make the case for selling some puts around 114.50. I'll put this on the list. Coin at 114. We'll let it sell off some more as Bitcoin. Now that the Bitcoin ETFs or whatever have been approved, a lot of that buy the rumor, sell the news is in effect here now. Okay, so selling the news creates some volatility. That's good for us. Moving on. Meta has earnings on the 1st. Amazon has earnings. Apple has earnings. AMD, they must have earnings coming up. AMD earnings on the 30th. When was Qualcomm? On the 31st. If for Qualcomm, if there's a gap up after earnings, we'll sell the call spread on that one. We'll have to wait though. Okay. Microsoft earnings, Netflix earnings, Coinbase. We have our note at 114. Riot, no. CCJ, earnings on the 8th. I like this one. Up 8%, is that right? Wow. No news. People like uranium. PE's 104, that's concerning. This is cuckoo. All-time high, maybe? Looks like all-time high on CCJ. Man, let's look at the call side. I know we have earnings coming up on the 8th. That's about a month away. You'd have to sell 60 and buy 65. It's a little far out, so you're not going to get paid for it. It's just moved so far, so fast. There aren't enough strikes available here. 54 minus 20 divided by 2 divided by 500, 3.4%. If we went on to March, sold 60 and bought 65, it's 103 minus 50 divided by 2 divided by 500, only 5.3% there. I wish it was down 8% today and sell the put side, but I mean, just looking at this price action, that's way too far, way too fast. Up big since the 9th. Up, and then up big time today. Good company, I like it, but it's gotten way ahead of itself. Okay, moving on. Boeing. We gotta wait for earnings at this point on Boeing. Silver, let's take a look at gold. I know gold was up, maybe 2% before the market opened this morning. Now it's at 1.5-ish, 1.25. So gapped up, selling off a bit. Again, we got to wait for gold to make a new all-time high before selling the call side. And I wouldn't sell the put side here either because there could be a sell-off. Not much, but a mini sell-off. Next, Delta we already looked at. Delta we already opened our position. Down 8%, 52 IV rank. Earnings this morning. GDX, we already looked at gold. GLD, done. American Airlines, already looked at that one. Zim, nope. Uber, must have earnings coming up. Earnings for Uber are February 14th, about a month away. I don't think any news today. Coming up, where are we? All-time highs right now. So that's interesting. February includes earnings. A month away. If you sold 72.5 and bought 75, you'd have to, $250 spread. 92 minus 58 divided by 2 divided by 250, 6.8% there. You are holding through earnings though, so that's why. I don't know. Not thrilled about it. Good return, 6.8, but I think we're going to pass. Google has earnings. China. Pfizer has earnings. Exxon, February 2nd, 3 weeks out. We'll wait till after earnings. PayPal has earnings on the 7th. Robinhood will skip. Taiwan Semi, January 18th. That'll be next week. That'll be fun to watch. MicroStrategies down. This is down because of the Bitcoin ETF sell-off. SoFi, Upstart, flat. KRE. KRE. Down one, almost 1.5. Could catch the bounce around 49.5. So let's wait. I'll put the KRE on the list to follow up with next week. All right. You know, while we're here, let's look at the SPY really quick because we need to roll our spread. We are short the 456 and long the 461, and we've got 7 days till expiration on this one. So what we're going to try to do is roll it for a credit like we're doing for XBI. What we'll do is we'll cancel this order. SPY position. We're going to go to roll. Closing out January and opening February. We could even do March maybe. Let's take a look at March. This one's not as great. Go back to February. When rolling, you want to either receive a credit or just straight across zero. We'll set this as good till canceled, so over the next week we'll try to get this rolled, buy us some more time. Straight at zero, so no credit, but no, we're not paying to roll it either, okay? Just buying us some more time. We've already rolled this one once from December to January. Now we're going to try to roll from January to February, okay? Preview this. Buy one January, call to close. Sell one January, call to close. Good. Buy one 456, call to open. And sell one 456, call to open. And buy one 461, call to open. Everything looks good. We're spending nothing, just commissions. We'll send that out. It's good till canceled, right? Yeah, good till canceled. Okay, so this will stay open from now until next week. It'll either get filled and we'll roll and get more time, or we'll have to talk about taking the loss. The loss would be under last year's taxes, though, so that's a good thing. Because most of these losses happened in December when we rolled from December to January. So if you look at the position, it's only down 23 bucks when the entire spread's underwater. All the losses were taken last year, and that's good because with all the gains, having some of these losses happen in last year's, for tax purposes, it helps with the taxes on all the gains that we had for the entire past year, if that makes sense. Moving on. XBI. Pass. Disney has earnings on the 7th. Upstart, we already looked at. United down 9. Did we look at United? Delta. American. Let's look at United. But actually, no. Earnings are on the 22nd. 10 days till earnings. We'll look after earnings. Next up. Google, no. URA. Uranium's on a tear. What's going on? URA. Is there any news about uranium? Call side for, hold on one second. You'd want to sell February, not March. Call side, February, selling 36. Not enough liquidity. You got a 15-cent spread here, and you'd have to buy 38, 10-cent spread there to a liquid. Okay, moving on. Snapchat has earnings. Same thing with Intel. Lucid, no. TNA, ARC, Riley. CVS we already looked at. DocuSign. Up 2% today. Earnings aren't until March. That's great. I don't know if there's any news. No. Skip on this one. Qualcomm we already looked at. Celsius. Uranium. Again, another uranium one. Maybe that one's more liquid. URNM. Call side for February. No. Same thing. 2 a liquid. Barrick has earnings on the 14th. Chevron earnings on the 2nd. Roblox. This may do it for today. Moderna. Maybe. Let's look at Moderna really quick. Not the best liquid when it comes to liquidity. Definitely got some volatility priced in, so that's good. Earnings are the 22nd, so I believe that's after expiration. Up here, hanging out at the 200-day. Broke up slightly, but then came back down. Hitting it again today and selling off. Call side, February. Yeah, February expiration is before earnings. We sold 125 and bought 130. 201 minus 129. $201 minus 132 divided by 2 divided by 500. Almost 7% there. Liquidity's okay. You got 10-cent spread here at the 130, and you've got a 9-cent, 8-cent spread here at the 125. It's okay. It's not crazy. It's not 1 cent, which you'd prefer. Where's 125 on the chart? 125's up here. It's not unreasonable. If it breaks above the 200-day here, it can keep moving up. Next spot for resistance is 122. And we'd have to sell the 125. That's too close. I don't feel comfortable doing that one. I think we'll call it for today. But a lot of our positions are in the green, so that means a lot of these positions are selling off. Delta, we got filled today. We're already up $3. IWM selling off. JP Morgan is selling off. SPY must be selling off. XHB is selling off. These other ones, we've got some time for February expiration, and the January ones we're rolling. We'll keep an eye on IWM. It's right on the nose there. It should be exciting next week to see what happens. Don't forget, next week, Monday, is MLK Day, so the market is closed on Monday. Bond market, stock market, everything's closed on Monday. So we will all take the day off on Monday. So we got a nice 3-day weekend here, okay? But good work this week. Had a lot of positions closed, so we made some good money this week. Trying to roll a couple things. We'll keep an eye on that. And we got some new positions opened here. USO, we opened this week and closed this week. So we made $35 on that short put there. Good job on that one. Oil is always a fun market to trade. Delta, we'll keep an eye on. And JP Morgan, now that we're post-earnings, the movement should calm down a bit, okay? Everything else, good job this week. Hope you had fun. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure you tune in every morning at 7:15 a.m. on the West Coast and 10:15 a.m. on the East Coast. We go live every morning trading options. Also tell your friends who are trading options to tune in as well. We can all learn together, okay? Good week, everybody. Enjoy the 3-day weekend. Get some rest. We'll see everybody Tuesday morning.